Envy and falsehood are two of the quietest dangers in human relationships. They rarely arrive loudly or openly. Instead, they appear in subtle behaviors, disguised compliments, and friendly smiles that hide deeper intentions. Many people who wish you harm will never openly declare it. They will stand close to you, watch your progress, and pretend to celebrate your victories. Yet inside, their hearts are restless with comparison and resentment. The Stoic philosophers taught that the first step to protecting your peace is learning how to observe people without being blinded by emotion. When you begin to notice the small inconsistencies between what people say and what they do, a new level of awareness awakens within you. You begin to understand that not every supporter truly supports you, and not every smile carries goodwill. By developing calm observation, you gain the power to see through illusions while maintaining your inner peace. One of the clearest signs of hidden envy is the inability of someone to genuinely celebrate your progress. When good things happen to you, a sincere person will naturally feel joy for you. Their words and body language will align with their congratulations. But a person driven by envy often struggles to hide their discomfort. Their praise may sound forced, delayed, or followed by subtle criticism. Sometimes they will change the subject quickly or compare your success to someone else's achievements in order to minimize what you have accomplished. Stoic wisdom reminds us that envy is born from insecurity and comparison. People who measure their worth by the success of others often feel threatened when someone close to them rises. Recognizing this pattern allows you to remain calm and detached rather than confused or hurt. Falsehood often reveals itself through inconsistency. A person who means you harm may frequently change their words depending on who they are speaking to. They might praise you in private but speak differently about you in other circles. These individuals carefully shape their story to maintain influence while slowly weakening your reputation. The Stoics believed that truth has a natural stability. A truthful person rarely needs to adjust their narrative because honesty does not require manipulation. When someone constantly shifts their opinions, exaggerates stories, or spreads information that cannot be verified, it is wise to observe carefully. Quiet observation is often more powerful than confrontation. Time eventually exposes contradictions. Another subtle sign of harmful intentions is disguised advice that quietly undermines your confidence. Some individuals present themselves as supporters while planting seeds of doubt in your mind. They may say things like they are only being realistic or trying to protect you from disappointment. Yet their words consistently steer you away from growth, opportunity, or ambition. Stoic thinkers warned about allowing outside voices to control the direction of our lives. The moment someone repeatedly discourages your progress while pretending to care about your well-being, it becomes necessary to evaluate their influence. Wisdom does not reject advice, but it carefully examines the motives behind it. Envious individuals are often deeply interested in your plans and future moves. At first, their curiosity can appear supportive. They ask many questions about your goals, your strategies, and the opportunities you are pursuing. However, after gathering this information, they may use it to compete with you, sabotage you, or spread distorted versions of your intentions to others. The Stoic approach to life encourages discretion. Not every plan needs to be shared openly. When you protect certain goals until they are firmly established, you prevent unnecessary interference from people who may not truly wish you well. A person who secretly envies you may also attempt to compete in areas where competition was never intended. Instead of celebrating your individuality, they begin measuring themselves against you in every aspect of life. If you pursue a new skill, they quickly attempt to do the same while diminishing the effort you have invested. If you share a new idea, they may attempt to claim it as their own or reshape it for personal recognition. This behavior reveals an internal struggle rather than true confidence. Stoic philosophy teaches that wise individuals focus on mastering themselves rather than competing endlessly with others. When you encounter someone who constantly turns cooperation into rivalry, it often reflects deeper insecurity. Falsehood also appears through subtle gossip and indirect criticism. Instead of addressing issues directly, people with harmful intentions often speak behind your back. They spread small doubts about your character, your motives, or your abilities. The strategy is simple. If they cannot destroy your progress directly, They attempt to weaken how others perceive you. The Stoics understood that reputation can be influenced by the opinions of others, but character remains within our control. When you maintain integrity and consistency, false rumors eventually collapse under their own weight. Truth may move slowly, but it rarely stays hidden forever. Envious individuals often display a strange pattern of support during your struggles, but discomfort during your victories. When you face difficulties, they may appear compassionate and attentive. They offer advice, sympathy, and presence. But when your situation improves and your efforts begin producing results, their energy shifts. The warmth fades, and their involvement becomes distant. This happens because some people feel comfortable when others remain at their level or below it. Growth disrupts that balance and forces them to confront their own stagnation. Stoic wisdom encourages us to grow, regardless of who feels uncomfortable with our progress. Another warning sign is subtle sabotage disguised as harmless mistakes. Someone who secretly wishes you harm may create small obstacles that slow your progress. They might delay important information, give incomplete guidance, or introduce confusion at critical moments. Each action appears minor on its own, making it difficult to confront directly. But when observed over time, the pattern becomes clear. Stoic thinkers valued awareness and patience. Rather than reacting emotionally, they advised studying patterns of behavior. Consistent patterns reveal true intentions more clearly than isolated events. People driven by envy also tend to mirror your achievements while quietly diminishing them. If you accomplish something meaningful, they may immediately highlight their own accomplishments or shift attention toward themselves. This reaction reflects an internal need to reclaim the spotlight. Genuine supporters do not feel threatened by the success of those around them. Instead, they feel inspired and motivated by it. The Stoic mindset reminds us that the success of another person does not reduce our own potential. Abundance of opportunity exists for those who remain focused on their personal growth. Sometimes falsehood hides within excessive flattery. Not every compliment is sincere. Individuals with hidden motives may use praise as a strategy to gain trust or access to your ideas and plans. Once they feel secure in your confidence, their behavior gradually changes. The Stoics warned against becoming addicted to praise because it clouds judgment. When we depend on external validation, we become vulnerable to manipulation. A balanced mind appreciates kindness but remains grounded in self-awareness. Another revealing behavior is the tendency to highlight your mistakes publicly while ignoring your achievements. A person who envies you may wait patiently for moments when you struggle or make errors. When those moments appear, they amplify them, ensuring others notice. At the same time, they rarely acknowledge the discipline and effort behind your progress. Stoic philosophy teaches that criticism is unavoidable in life. However, the wise individual studies the intention behind criticism. Constructive feedback seeks improvement, while envy seeks humiliation. People with harmful intentions often react negatively when you establish boundaries. The moment you become more selective about what you share or how much access you give them, their attitude changes. They may accuse you of arrogance, secrecy, or distance. In reality, boundaries simply remove their ability to interfere. The Stoics believed that protecting one's inner peace requires discipline in choosing associations. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your time, thoughts, and energy. Envy also reveals itself through quiet pleasure when something goes wrong in your life. Instead of expressing genuine concern, an envious person may appear unusually calm or even subtly satisfied when you face difficulties. They might disguise this reaction behind polite words, but their lack of empathy becomes noticeable. This reaction reflects the hidden desire to see others fall back to their level. Stoic wisdom encourages emotional independence so that the reactions of others do not control our sense of worth. Falsehood becomes easier to detect when you observe whether someone benefits from the stories they spread. Many individuals manipulate information for personal advantage. They may exaggerate your weaknesses while presenting themselves as more reliable or trustworthy. By doing so, they gradually reshape how others perceive both of you. Stoic thinkers believed that character ultimately outweighs reputation. A consistent pattern of honesty, patience, and integrity builds a foundation that false narratives struggle to destroy. The Stoic path does not encourage paranoia or distrust toward everyone. Instead, it teaches balanced awareness. Not every disagreement signals envy, and not every mistake hides malicious intent. However, repeated patterns of subtle hostility deserve attention. The goal is not to become suspicious of everyone, but to strengthen your ability to observe reality clearly. When you see people as they truly are, rather than as you wish them to be, you protect both your peace and your progress. One powerful Stoic practice is focusing on what lies within your control. You cannot control the envy or dishonesty of others. Attempting to change their mindset often leads to frustration. What you can control is your reaction, your boundaries, and the company you choose to keep. By maintaining emotional discipline, you prevent the negativity of others from invading your inner world. A calm mind becomes a shield against manipulation. Another valuable practice is silence. Not every observation requires immediate confrontation. Sometimes the most effective response is distance and quiet awareness. When people realize they can no longer influence your emotions or gather information from you, their interest often fades. Stoic philosophers often emphasize that silence reveals more than constant explanation. Your actions will speak louder than any defense. True allies reveal themselves through consistency. They celebrate your progress without hesitation. They offer honest advice without hidden motives. They remain present during both success and struggle, without competing with your growth. These individuals are rare but invaluable. The Stoic approach encourages investing your energy in relationships built on sincerity and mutual respect, rather than chasing approval from those driven by insecurity. As you move forward in life, remember that awareness is not about becoming cold or distant. It is about protecting your peace while continuing to grow. When you understand the subtle signals of envy and falsehood, you stop wasting energy trying to prove yourself to the wrong people. Instead, you focus on becoming stronger, wiser, and calmer each day. If this message has opened your eyes to the deeper patterns in human behavior and helped you understand how Stoic wisdom can protect your peace, take a moment to support the channel. Subscribe to the channel and stay connected for more insights on Stoicism, personal strength, and timeless wisdom that will help you navigate life with clarity and confidence.